Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Ryan and welcome back to a brand new video on Hijomeatman News. Today we are here for the first Let's Talk of the season. The European rounds of the MotoGP Championship have begun. And as you can tell, Jamie's not here. We will hear from him though later on at the end of the video when we go through the predictions for the race tomorrow. He's sent in his. As you may know, if you watched the update video that we did the other day, Jamie has gone to Jerez because he obviously lives out in Spain. So he has gone to Jerez to go and watch the race tomorrow. So he will be out there in Spain. So make sure you check all our social medias for some live action from there. So as it's just me today, we'll try and power through this Let's Talk, cover a few main topics, starting from Friday, free practice 1. Things were a little bit wet. A very, very, very bad rain storm came in, and all of the free practice sessions on Friday were kind of a little bit tricky. Obviously, the rain in the first FP1 session for Moto3 saw only 25 riders completing a lap time. The guys who didn't complete a lap was Romano Fenati, Livio Loy, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Enea Bastianini, Johan Mir, the championship leader, of course, Aaron Canet, who looked so good last time out in America, and then high-sided off his Estrella Galicia Honda, Jorge Martin, second in the championship, and Jules Delilio on the second Marinelli River Cold Snipers. So it was Jakob Cornfire who took control on the Peugeot MC Saxo Print, setting a time of a 2 minutes 1.000, with Tony Arbolino behind him on the SICK 58 Squadra Corsa Honda. Vincent Perez, the wildcard, he was in third position on the Reale Avinti Academy KTM. That bike is the CEV bike of the MotoGP Ducati Avintia. Nicolo Bulega was in fourth position on the Skyvr 46 bike, 7/10 off the top time of Jakob Cornfire, with Nicolo Antonelli in fifth position on the Red Bull KTM, John McPhee in sixth, Tatsuki Suzuki in seventh, Andrea Mino eighth, Raul Fernandez, the second wildcard, he was in ninth, Philip Hurtel, he ended the FP1 in 10th position with Darren Binder, Guevara, Dalla Porta, Bender Schneider, Rodrigo, Norodin, Sasaki, Alenas Bezecchi, Atarat, Pupapat, Patrick Bulganin, Kato Toba, Marcos Ramirez, Maria Herrera, and Pagliani was the last rider to set a lap time 7.1 seconds off Jakob Cornfire. With that said and done, let's move on to the Moto3 qualifying results. And the man who took control on that was the Del Conca Rossini Moto3 rider, currently second in the World Championship. It is Jorge Martin. He took pole with a 146.004, breaking the pole lap record that was originally set by Jack Miller 3 years ago. Jorge Martin took pole position with Aaron Canet in second by 4/10. Jorge Martin took pole over his fellow Spaniard Aaron Canet on the Estrella Galicia, with Romano Fenati, the winner of the last race in America. He was in third position. The top Sky bike is Nicolo Bulega. He's in fourth position on a 146.655. Marcos Ramirez, another great showing for him on the Platinum Bay Real Estate KTM. He's in fifth position ahead of Red Bull KTM's Nicolo Antonelli. On the third row, Tatsuki Suzuki had a great showing on the 658 Squadra Corsa KTM. He got a time of a 146.788 ahead of Andrea Mino, and Johan Mir got dropped to 9th position after his lap time got cancelled at the end of the session. He was originally on the front row and his lap time got cancelled, dropping him down onto the third row. The fourth row is Darren Binder, Fabio Di Gianantonio, and Juan Fran Guevara on the RBA Racing team. He set a time of 146.952. He's ahead of Alberto Arenas, who's just 14 thousandths of a second behind the first RBA bike. And then it's Enea Bastianini back down in 14th. He had a good ride in America. Things not quite going to plan at the start of this European round of the, European stage of the season, with Yuma Sasaki and Gabriel Rodrigo up behind him. In 17th position was Lorenzo Dalla Porta, Livio Loy, and Adam Norodin. They round out the top 19, with Vincent Perez, the wildcard, rounding out the top 20. In 21st position was the fastest man in FP1, Jakob Cornfire, with Philip Hurtel in 22nd, Maria Herrera in 23rd, Bo Bender Schneider on the Red Bull KTM down in 24th position ahead of Jules Danilo And a very surprising performance from John McPhee, all the way down in 26th on the British talent team Honda, struggling with front end feel. He's ahead of Bezzecchi, Keita Toba, Tony Arbolino, Pagliani, Atarat Pupapat, and the wildcard Fernandez ahead of Patrick Pulkkinen, who rounds out the grid. So, Jorge Martin on pole position. Can he win? Yes, he can. No problem about it. 4 tenths clearer than anybody in the qualifying session. He looks so good. He's consistently quick. However, the guys who will be challenging him, Aaron Canet, very fast last time out in America. Looked like he was going to win the Grand Prix after the first practice sessions. High-sided during the race, gifting Romano Fenati the win, who starts in 3rd. It's a Honda lockout in Jerez for the front row of the Moto3 class, with the KTMs locking out the 2nd row of Bulega, Ramirez and Antonelli. Will Nicolo Bulega be able to return to the podium? Not seen the podium this year. He's had a pretty dodgy season, has Nicolo Bulega so far. Way down the order in Qatar. He finished way down in, I think it was 14th position in Qatar. And then in Argentina, things didn't go much better. He finished that race way down in 16th position, outside of the points. Last time out in America, things went a little bit better for him. He finished in 5th position in America, and Jerez, he'll be looking to improve and get himself some points to get out of a very difficult 12th position in the Moto3 Championship. A couple of names that we want to mention: Tatsuki Suzuki, whether or not he will be able to convert a very good weekend so far into a good position. He starts the Grand Prix for 7th, like I mentioned. Johan Mir, the leader of the championship, in 9th position. I can't see Johan Mir having a problem getting from 9th to the front of the pack in this Spanish Grand Prix. Obviously, the race tomorrow will be live on BT Sport, MotoGP.com, and we'll give you race analysis where we run through the race results and stuff like that for Moto3 before we go in depth for MotoGP. And then we've got Fabio Di Gian Antonio. He's in 11th. I don't think he will have, again, any problem getting up to the front. Obviously, Brad Binder last year won the Grand Prix from last, so DG is a fast rider. He's a Sunday rider. He always seems to perform on Sunday. Will he be able to perform tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. One name that I'm a little bit disappointed, actually, is Bo Bender-Schneider, well, 3 names. Philip Ertel, Bo Bender-Schneider, and John McPhee down in 26th. As I mentioned, John had a little bit of an issue with front-end grip throughout the whole session. And that's interesting because the Yamahas in MotoGP, they've got the same problem. The factory Yamahas, Maverick and Rossi. Maverick managing a little bit better with it. But they've got front-end problems and left side of acceleration. When they accelerate out of the left-hander, it's spinning up a lot. So John McPhee struggling. He had a crash in practice, which did kind of damage his finger. And it's not gone well for John McPhee this weekend. He looked pretty quick in practice, but for qualifying, the wee McPhee has to start from down in 26th position. So you have to let us know what you think about that and who you think will be winning the Moto3 Grand Prix. My predictions for Moto3: Jorge Martin to get the win, Bulega for 2nd, and Johan Mir to finish in 3rd. So that's my predictions for the Moto3. Alex Marquez got himself his first pole position of his Moto2 career. It only took him 2 or 3 years to get himself a pole position in this class, with Franco Morbidelli right behind him, his teammate in 2nd position. With Dominique Agata on the Kiefer Racing, his teammate Danny Kent walked out on them, as you saw if you saw the video. He walked out on them. And Dominique Agata has got that Suter, which apparently was an absolute pile of rubbish, according to Danny Kent. He's got it on the front row in 3rd position, ahead of the first Red Bull KTM bike of Miguel Oliveira. Matteo Pacini in 5th position, and a great showing from the Sky Racing 46 bike of Francesco Bagnaia, once again outshining his teammate by quite a long stretch. His teammate, Stefano Manzi, down in 29th position, ahead of Ike Lecuona, Axel Bassani, and Federico Follini, who is replacing Danny Kent in that Kiefer Racing squad. Once again, another impressive showing from Javi Vierge, currently 5th in the championship. Great start to the season for him. 2 tenth positions and a 5th, I believe, in the race last time out in America. Takaaki Nakagami in 8th, with Marcel Schrotter running out the 3rd row. He had a small tip-off at turn 2 during that session. Axel Pons in 10th, with Luca Marini and Thomas Luthi down in 12th position. Not too sure what he's doing down there. Luca Marini had a pretty impressive showing in 11th. Simone Corsi on the speed up, the top speed up in the top 15. He is in 13th, with Fabio Quartararo on the Pons HB40. A little bit disappointing. He had a great showing throughout the first couple of sessions. FP2 especially was really good, up in 4th position before he had that tip-off. He's ahead of Sairin, who had, again, obviously a great showing in the wet, as did Karel Idampawi. Javier Simeon, who had a great ride last time out in America. He's starting the Grand Prix from 17th, with Ricky Cardus, he's in 18th position on the KTM, replacing Brad Binder. Obviously broke his arm, and he re-broke it again in the race in Argentina and rode to an excellent 8th position. Lorenzo Baldassari on the Forward Racing team, he's way down in 19th position, so he's not having a good time of things in that camp. He had 2 crashes so far this weekend. One of them high-siding out of turn 3, very, very fast. And then another one, I believe, was at turn 4 he crashed. Or was it the final? He crashed at the final corner in turn 13. Sergio Cortese, the 3rd suitor, he's down in 20th position ahead of Jorge Navarro. And Yoni Hernandez, who had a high side coming out of Ferrari, the penultimate corner yesterday in the wet. Luckily, the bike got away unscathed, as did Yoni. He's ahead of Edgar Pons, who also crashed yesterday. Nagashima, Locatelli, who crashed in the session this morning in FP3. Esco Raffin, Isaac Viñales, Remy Gardner, who's back after he got taken out of the Argentinian Grand Prix, breaking his ankles. He's got pins in there, and he qualified in 28th position. Stefano Manzi in 29th, with Ike Lecuona, Axel Bassani, and Federico Follini rounding out the field. So, Franco Morbidelli starts his attack for the Spanish Grand Prix in 2nd position. He's looking to get 4 out of 4. He's won the first 3 in Qatar, Argentina, and America, and he's looking to win tomorrow on Alex Marquez's home ground. He will be the first rider since Dejiro Kato in 2001 in the 250cc class to win the first 4 Grand Prix. Kato doing that on the 250 in 2001. Dominic Agata, very, very impressed with him in 3rd position on the Kiefer Racing. Obviously, his teammate Danny Kent did leave the squad. Not quite sure, why. Stefan Kiefer's still not too sure, why he pulled out of the, team after 2 rounds. He signed for the whole season. He's pulled out after 2 rounds, which isn't good, saying, that Suter was the best bike he's ever ridden. It's so much better than Kalex after the first round. He crashed in Argentina, and that was it. The bike just turned absolutely rubbish. Miguel Oliveira in 4th. He had another good showing. Still looking for his maiden win in Moto 2. Whether or not he'll be able to do that tomorrow, I don't know. He's 3/10 off Alex Marquez's pole time of a 1:42.080. Francesco Bagnaia, I think he has a great chance of maybe getting a podium tomorrow. If, they start scrapping Agata, Oliveira, Piscini, Bagnaia and Vierge, if they start fighting their way, then Bagnaia could get a chance of getting a podium or at least a top 5 result if he stays on his Sky Racing team VR46. And obviously the race tomorrow at 12 local time, and then MotoGP at 2 p.m. So track temperature is going to be quite high for the MotoGP race. Not so high for the Moto2. It is about midday. So they should be able to just have the ambient track temperature at probably about 38, 40 degrees. Once the track gets to about 50 degrees, that's when it gets very, very slippery and very, very tricky to ride indeed. So Alex Marquez starting the Spanish Grand Prix from pole position in Moto2. His first of his Moto2 career, with Morbidelli behind him and Dominique Agata rounding out the top 3. Okay, so my predictions for Moto2, Morbidelli to win, Oliveira 2nd, and Alex Marquez to finish in 3rd. So MotoGP, Andrea Iannone and Aleix Espargaro made it into qualifying 2, where Danny Pedrosa then took control and took pole position ahead of his teammate Mark Marquez. And Cal Crutchlow making it a Honda knockout. He was in 3rd position, 2/10 off Danny Pedrosa's time, with Maverick Vinales atop Yamaha in 4th, Iannone in 5th, Johann Zarco 6th, Valentino Rossi down in 7th ahead of Lorenzo and Jonas Folger, Jack Miller, Scott Redding and Aleix Espargaro, who suffered a crash in 12th position. So Danny Pedrosa, he's topped nearly every session so far. Danny Pedrosa down in 8th position in FP4, but he looks like he has a very, very, very strong race pace, and he will be able to challenge Marc Marquez and Maverick Vinales for the win tomorrow. Marc Marquez, like I said, he's got a strong pace as well. Whether or not he will be able to, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to give it to Danny or not. I hope we can, just for a race, that, is entertaining, and I hope, Crutchlow can get in the mix, Maverick, Rossi, Lorenzo, stuff like that, and make it a very, very entertaining race. But I think it will be between the 3 Hondas of Pedrosa, Marquez, Crutchlow. They've been Crutchlow inside the top 3 in nearly every session that they've done so far. So I reckon that definitely Pedrosa, Marquez and Crutchlow will be there in the fight for the top 3 tomorrow. Maverick Vinales, 4th position for him. The Yamaha's struggling a little bit on exit of the corners. Rossi struggling on entrance as well for the right-handers, I think he said more, for the right side of the tyre. Obviously, they've got the tyre test on Monday, and then Danny Kent will be testing on Tuesday for Moto3. So there is a couple of tyres that Valentino will be testing on the Movistar Yamaha. Andrea Iannone in 5th. Don't know what he can do. He needs to have a good result here in Jerez to get his season going once again. Johann Zarco, interestingly, he starts in front of Valentino Rossi after that incident in America. He starts in 6th position. Like I said, Rossi in 7th. Jorge Lorenzo started to get to grips with the Ducati. He was inside the top 5 in FP2 and FP3. And unfortunately for him, in qualifying 2, he slipped down to 8th position. But I think he's got a good pace and he'll be able to fight with the likes of Iannone, Vinales, Rossi, Zarco, maybe even Folger for a top 5 tomorrow. Talking of Folger, he's in 9th position on that Tech 3 Yamaha. Had a quiet weekend, slowly chipping away. You reckon he'll be able to fight with, like I said, Lorenzo, Rossi, Zarco, Iannone, Vinales for that top 5. Jack Miller, he's had a great weekend so far, directly into qualifying 2. He had such a good wet session, such a good dry session. He just feels so good on the bike. He slipped to 10th though with 39.125. I think he'll be on for a top 10 tomorrow if he can stay on his Mark VDS Honda and try and get the best result of his season. Scott Redding in 11th on the Pramac, the top Pramac. His teammate Petrucci did not make it into qualifying 2. He was ahead of Aleix Espargaro, who crashed in that qualifying 2 session, who will start from 12th position. It's better than America. He started from last and then come into the pits to get a new front tyre on his Aprilia bike. So, as you can see, Hondas are locking out the front row with the Yamahas 4/10 off. Hondas in all conditions look to be the best bike. In FP1, it was Honda, Honda, Honda. FP2, Honda, Honda, Honda. FP3, Honda, Ducati, Yamaha. FP4, Honda, Yamaha, Yamaha. And then for qualifying 2, Honda, Honda, Honda. So when it really matters, when the pace is quick, the Hondas look the best bike. Yamaha just not looking too good at all. Zarco and Folger on the Tech 3, the 2 rookies in the class. Impressive once again. Really, really, really impressive. They just seem to be getting their head around the bike a lot quicker than Smith and Pole did when they were in there. It took them a while to get up to speed. Pol Espargaro getting a couple of good results. Bradley Smith getting a couple of podiums with them. And talking of Pol and Bradley, on the KTM, they had a new Big Bang engine for the 2017 Spanish Grand Prix. Pol Espargaro qualifying 15th behind Dovizioso and Bradley Smith qualifying 16th. 4/10 off the time of Iannone to get into qualifying 2 was Bradley Smith. Pole only 3/10 off. So very, very, very good lap. Pol Espargaro obviously he was using a new fairing, as was Sam Lowes. We've seen Maverick Vinales and Valentino Rossi also use their new fairing as well. Valentino Rossi qualifying in 7th, like I said. And Maverick Vinales, he used them in FP2 and he had a tip off at turn 9. So they were ditched for the second day at Jerez. But yeah, this big bang engine that KTM have gone from being 6 seconds off the pole time in America to just a second off the pole time in Jerez. So you can see they've made some big improvements with that big bang engine. I'm not gonna lie, thought Pol Espargaro could have actually stuck it into qualifying too, but he can not, and he will start from 15th position. So I really honestly think that Pol Espargaro tomorrow, if he has a clean Grand Prix, he can score a top 10, and Bradley Smith can get some strong points as well. I think he'll be about 12th position tomorrow. Pol Espargaro, I'm going to say probably 9th position with that new engine if he can really push. Obviously there's the likes of Ducati in front of him with Dovi and Petrucci, and then Aleix Espargaro as well in 12th. Iannone in 5th position. He made it through qualifying 1. So he was only, like I said, 3 tenths off getting into qualifying 2. And unfortunately, the KTM's just got to find that 3 tenths to get itself in qualifying 2 on a regular basis. So my predictions for MotoGP: Pedrosa, Vinales, and Marquez. Let us know what you think about the new Big Bang engine for KTM, the new fairings that have been used, and whether or not you think they will be used for the race. And now I'm going to hand you over to Jamie, who's going to go through his predictions, and then we'll be back to round up the video.
My predictions are, before I go, I'm currently at my house, obviously. The qualifying's not even finished yet, and my predictions are, for Moto3, I think Bulega's going to win, because he done really good there last year, and I saw him do a big dive bomb, and I'm hoping he does it again. Moto2, I'm going to go with Oliveira on the KTM, because I've always going with him for every race, even if he's doing bad. I don't know why. And then MotoGP, I'm going to go with Danny Pedrosa, because, you know, Danny Pedrosa, I really like Danny Pedrosa, and he looks very good so far. So, yeah, I'm going to finish getting ready. We're going army colours, and some Nikes and stuff like that. So we're gonna go with some fashion, and we're going to hope for a good weekend. And yeah, I'll see you very, very soon.
Okay, so Jamie going through his predictions there. And that's basically it for today's Let's Talk with myself. I wanted just to smash through it because I want to get it up as soon as I can. When Jamie's here, we'll have a bit more talking to go through. So he will be back hopefully for the race analysis, where we can go through the race and exactly what happened and go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss the videos coming out in the future. The videos coming out in the future, Jamie's got a vlog coming. We have a Let's Talk coming about Danny Kent. Then we also are introducing a new thing from now on. We are bringing a Let's Talk every Sunday, some sort of Let's Talk, whether it will just be myself on my own and Jamie for a few of them or what, but we will be doing a Let's Talk hopefully every Saturday, even every Saturday night about 5 p.m-ish, when we'll be previewing the next Grand Prix, looking back at the Grand Prix last time and talking about the news or the rumours that's happened throughout that week, so you can stay up to date with exactly what happened. Make sure you go and subscribe and follow to everything down there. Make sure you go follow our Twitter so you can stay up to date with what's happening throughout the weekend. Instagram for some awesome photos, and our Facebook page so you can keep up to date with what's happening as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the race analysis for the Spanish Grand Prix. See you then. Goodbye.